Good morning, children. Now we have already finished 6 lessons in geography, and so I thought I'll continue with graph reading because in the 6th lesson we have many graphs based on population, and even in the 10th standard, your board paper pattern, question 6, we have graph wherein you've got part A and B. Now, here we have questions related to either, say, graph reading or even drawing graph. So, this carries 6 marks, and that's the reason I felt we'll go into graph reading. Now, let us look at this graph here. Now, again, I've taken this from your 6th lesson, that is population. Just look at this graph here. This is a line graph. Okay. Now, here if you see, we have on the x-axis time or years is given, and on the y-axis we have the sex ratio. Here the numbers that you see, that is 900, 920, 940, 960, all are the number of females. And all of you know what sex ratio is. Sex ratio is the number of females per 1,000 males. This graph here shows the sex ratio of India. This is a line graph. If you look at this graph, you'll find we have right from say 1961 on to say 2011. So when you go through this graph, please read this very, very carefully, because 6 marks allotted to it. You can easily score here. So let us go over to the question. Now, what was the sex ratio of India in the year 1971? So see where 1971, the year 1971 is, and look at the line graph. This is 1971. Just find out, you'll find in 1971 the sex ratio was 930. Is that clear? Now, next is next come to the second question. From which year did the sex ratio in India show an increasing trend? Now, look at the graph here. You will find in the year 1971, there was a decline in the sex ratio, and it picked up in the year 1981 and again declined in 1991. After 1991, we found there was a steady increase in the sex ratio of India. Now, your question is, from which year did the sex ratio in India show an increasing trend? So, it is from the year 1991. Got that? Okay. Moving on to third question. What was the sex ratio of India in 2011? Look for the year 2011. Now, just draw that vertically up, see, and you'll find that the sex ratio of India in 2011 was 940 females per 1,000 males. Did you understand? Here, I've given you only 3 questions. There are many which can be asked in the same way. So here I've taken only sex ratio of India. In your textbook, we have even Brazil. So this way, you'll have to be very careful when you go through your graph, and it is very scoring. Moving on to the second question. Look at this here graph. This is the joint bar graph which shows the life expectancy of India and Brazil. Now on the x-axis, we find time, or in other words, years are given. So here the years we have they have taken from 1960. You have now got 1970, 1980, 1990 up to 2016 on the x-axis. On the y-axis, we have life expectancy in years. So now here you find on the y-axis, this is 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 years. So likewise, you'll have to see that uh, the graph should be regular. Now, and all along, if you have taken this as 1 centimeter, see to it that the subsequent ones also, you are going to take it as 1 centimeter. Is that clear? So on the y-axis, we have life expectancy in years. Now, this is a joint bar graph or multiple bar graph. Now, look at this bar. The darkened bar shows the life expectancy of India, and the dark one shows you the life expectancy of Brazil. Now, let's come to your question. Which country has a bigger life expectancy? Looking at the graph, you find, same, in all these cases, you find, look at the joint bar graph for both India and Brazil, you compare that, you'll find all along the life expectancy of Brazil has been higher. So your answer is Brazil has a bigger life expectancy. Now, the second question, what is the average life expectancy of Indians in the year 2016? So see where 2016 is, and just find out what is the average life expectancy of Indians. Now, this is 70. So it is lesser than 70. So it comes to 68 years. Now, children, even if it is, say, -1 or +1, it can be considered. So here I've given you as 68 years. Now, even if you write just about, say, 67 or even 69 years also, now sometimes if the graph is not clear, 1 + 1 or -1 years can also be considered. But as much as possible, children, try to be as accurate as possible. Now, just go to the third question. By how much has the life expectancy increased from 2000 to 2016 in Brazil? So, this is 2000 in Brazil. It is 70. In the year 2000, the life expectancy was 70. And in 2016, so here we are taking it as 5, that is 75. In 2000 it was 70, and 2016 it was 75. So minus that, 75 minus 70 is equal to 5 years. So your answer is life expectancy in Brazil increased by 5 years from 2000 to 2016. So I think, children, this graph is quite clear. Now, let's move on to the third graph. Here again, we have the multiple bar graph or the joint bar graph, which shows you the literacy rate of India and Brazil. Again, on the x-axis, years are plotted. So here the years are from 1981, 1991, 2001, 2011 and 2016. On the y-axis, literacy rate is given in percentage. Here again, 1 centimeter is equal to 10%. So like this, you have 20, 30, 40 and so on. You'll have to be very clear. See that you write the name of the title of the graph is given here, India and Brazil literacy rate. Now, this dark bar shows you the literacy rate of India. The lighter one gives you the literacy rate of Brazil. I think the graph is clear now. Let's come over to the question. Which country has a higher literacy rate? Very, very clear. It is Brazil. So Brazil has a higher literacy rate among both the countries. The second question, what is the difference between the literacy rates of India and Brazil in the year 1981? Now, look at this bar here. This is 1981. Now, here, this is the literacy rate of Brazil. So this is 70. It is not, see, between 70 and 80. Now this is not touching, almost not even half. So it is a little less than 75. So you can take it as 74. And what is the literacy rate of India? We take it as 40. It is above 40. So it is 41. So subtract 74 from 41. We get it as 33%. So difference between the literacy rates of India and Brazil in the year 1981 was 33%. The next one, compare the increasing trend and literacy rate of both countries from 2011 to 2016. So here you are going to compare the literacy rate of both the countries. Now let me take India first. Now look at this. In 2011, the literacy rate was, say, here it is not even 70. So let us take it as 69. And here it is, say, 70. So come to, it is 72. Okay. So 72 minus 69, it comes to 3%. Got it? So now literacy rate in India increased by 3% from 2011 to 2016. Let's move over to Brazil. Here Brazil, it is 91 here, and this is 93. In the year 2016, if you see, it is 93. Here it is 91. So 93 minus 91 gives you 2%. Got the answer? So in both the countries, you find there is an increase from 2011 to 2016. In India, literacy rate increased by 3%, while in Brazil, it has increased by 2%. Now children, let us move on to the next graph. This shows you the age and sex population of Brazil for the year 2016. Now this is also called the population pyramid. Now here on the x-axis, we have the percentage of population, and on the y-axis, age group is given. Now here the age group is given as, say, 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, and so on. Now look at the colors of the two graphs here. The bars here, the pink one shows that this is the female population, and the blue bar shows that it's a male population. Is that clear? So this is the population pyramid of Brazil for the year 2016. So, let us come to a question. What does this graph show? This graph shows the age and sex population of Brazil for the year 2016. Next is, what is the percentage of female population in the age group of 25 to 29? Okay, so it says female population in the age group of 25 to 29. So on the y-axis, now find out the age group 25 to 29 and take it up to the female population. So how much is it? Now it is more or less, it's slightly more, or you can say it is at 4. So here it is 4%. So the percentage of female population in the age group of 25 to 29 years is 4%. The next question, what is the percentage of female population in the age group 55 to 59 years? So look for 55 to 59 years, okay, and that to the male population. So here, just find out it is more than 2% and less than even 3. So let us say it is 2.3. Now, so the male population in the age group of 55 to 59 years is 2.3%. Now, here from your textbook, I have taken only the population pyramid of Brazil. There's also a population pyramid of India also, but here is just for our, practice that I've taken this. Now, even you can even have graphs or comparison also between Brazil and India. Now, let us move on to the next graph. So here we have the temperature rainfall graph of Kolkata. So here this is the histogram. Okay, these bars that you see, we have this is the histogram, and this blue line, this is a line graph. The blue line shows you the minimum temperature of Kolkata. The red line shows you the maximum temperature of Kolkata. Okay, now let us come to the what is there on the x-axis. On the x-axis, the months are given, and on the y-axis on one side, we have temperature in degrees, and on the other side, we have rainfall in millimeters. And that is why we say this is the temperature rainfall graph of Kolkata. So your question is, what does the graph represent? Now this graph represents the temperature and rainfall graph of Kolkata. Next is, what is the maximum temperature of Kolkata in January? So see now where January is now and find out what is the maximum temperature. Maximum temperature is given by the red line graph. So maximum temperature in the month of January is 25 degrees. Then next is, which month receives the highest rainfall and how much? Again, rainfall is given by the histogram. So it's very easy to see. The highest rainfall here is in the month of July. And how much? So take this up to the where you have the rainfall in millimeters written. It is more than 800 and more than even 850 also. So it is slightly more than 850. So the highest rainfall is 860 millimeters in the month of July. Next question is, what is the range of temperature in March? Now, what do you mean by range of temperature? Range of temperature refers to the maximum temperature the difference between the maximum and minimum temperature. So maximum temperature minus the minimum temperature. Now first let us find out the maximum temperature of Kolkata in the month of March. This is March. Find out the maximum temperature. It is not 35, it's less than 35. Let us take it as 34. Come to the minimum temperature. Now minimum temperature, it is, say, not 25, it's less than 25. Let us take it as 22.5. So maximum temperature is 34, minimum temperature is 22.5. So maximum minus minimum gives you 11.5 degrees. Now children, most of the graphs that I've taken here are from the 6th lesson. There are many more. A lot of work has to be done so that you can get a lot of practice on, say, reading of graph. Okay, so the second part of it I'll do in the next class. There is also an assignment which I have given. You can go through this session, and in case just go through it and find out. There is an assignment and you can complete that and then submit. So thank you, children.